When was the first time a video game truly made you say, wow? Maybe it was walking out of the vault for the first time in Fallout 3, or maybe it was watching the first Colossus pass you by in Shadow of the Colossus. But for me, it was the first time I saw the world of Genshin Impact. But why is it so beautiful anyway? What's going on behind the scenes here? How does Genshin Impact manage to combine real-life influences with an incredibly convincing 3D anime art style and create something so unique and fresh? The perfectly executed anime art style is a big reason why so many players like myself have developed an unbending loyalty to this game, and it's this exact art style that I want to dissect today. Without further ado, let's explore the art of Genshin Impact. The universe of Genshin Impact was created with an outstanding amount of attention to detail, upon an intricate framework that contains a surprising amount of reference to the real world. We'll get into that in a bit. Genshin's universe is split between 7 factions, each corresponding to an element. These include the 4 elements considered by the Western cultures as the pillars of the earth, along with other elements derived from Eastern traditions. Each elemental domain has a god, or archon, presiding over them, with their names along with many others directly lifted from Ars Goetia, a pagan grimoire. Even the twins' names, the 2 possible characters a player could choose at the beginning of the game, are a clever wordplay meant to represent yin and yang energies and the polarity between heaven and earth. Combining different elements of ancient religions, Gnosticism, and Eastern schools of thought, Genshin Impact became a sampling platter for many profound concepts. What makes this game so great is that its boundless wisdom was neatly packaged into a format that makes it fun and visually appealing. And it's easy to understand why this title became so successful in such a short amount of time, when you consider that these players were also faced with a unique gaming experience, on top of the stunning visuals. The vast open world invites careful exploration, and the intricate storylines honestly kept me glued to my screen for longer than I'd like to admit. In an interview by Pocket Gamer, MiHoYo's president Forrest Wei Liu mentioned that the team's love for Japanese entertainment was the bedrock for creating this game, although the vast majority of the group, comprising of more than 400 people, were of Chinese descent. Now, this is really interesting to me, since most of the in-game scenes could easily be mistaken for authentic Ghibli movies. An overwhelming number of players also noticed the resemblance to the beloved Breath of the Wild, and Wei Liu confirmed that the cel-shaded Zelda installment was in fact a heavy inspiration for Genshin Impact. Players can even win a weapon called the Skyward Blade through the Wish system. However, I am here to say that Genshin Impact is a lot more than just a Breath of the Wild knockoff, as it draws inspiration from various games and game mechanics, including previous MiHoYo games such as Honkai Impact 3rd. And yet, with the visuals being so heavily inspired by existing styles, Genshin Impact has still managed to carve out its own unique artistic identity. To achieve this, the studio used the beloved anime style as a stepping stone and defined the game's visual character through a plethora of cultural motifs anchored in real life. Every location of this game was carefully created to reflect real-life places. The characters, both playable and non-playable, were designed to fit within a cultural background that players all around the world can relate to. I think this is a perfect time to look into the environment design of Genshin Impact. As a horrible artist myself, much of this game's appeal stems from the gorgeous scenery. I actually have a course that teaches you how to create beautiful environments like this using Unreal Engine and Blender, so make sure to check out that link in the description. When designing the world of Genshin Impact, MiHoYo's art department had 2 things in mind: to develop certain styles that perfectly match the essence of each faction, and making sure to communicate that aesthetic effectively. Now, Genshin Impact was built entirely on a customized version of Unity due to its extensive multi-platform support. 2 different render pipelines were put in place, which is quite a strange practice to see for a game like this. However, given the heavily stylized nature of this game, the studio saw it fit to employ 2 separate pipelines: a PBR pipeline for the environments and a cel-shaded hand-painted pipeline for the characters. We're going to get into both of those eventually through this video. The first region a player gets to explore is the Anemonation, which corresponds to the wind element. The Anemonation resides in the city of freedom, called Mondstadt. In German, the name translates to Moon City, and is heavily inspired by Germanic architecture. The half-timbered houses are reminiscing of medieval German constructions, with their similarity becoming really striking when compared to the houses of the German town Miltenberg. The city of Mondstadt was built in an oval shape, in the center of a lake, which seems to have been inspired by Bern, the capital of Switzerland. In the center of Mondstadt is a giant awe-inducing cathedral, which was most likely inspired by the Grand Cathedral in Regensburg. Regensburg. For the environment design itself, the render pipeline takes into account the day and night cycle, weather conditions, as well as the complexity of the environment. All throughout Tevyat, you won't find a single baked light source. All of the lights and environments are dynamic, including the local ones that contribute to both direct and indirect lighting in the proximity of the player camera. With Genshin Impact, the beauty really is in the details. The use of dynamic shadows all across the game enhance the three-dimensional feel of Tevyat. When players walk under a tree, the leaves cast shadows onto their bodies. Volumetric fog of different densities in certain regions or time of day periods come into contact with the local lighting, enriching the atmosphere and creating a unique experience at each part of the day in each different location. Speaking of volumetrics, I'd love to take a second to point out Genshin Impact's incredible cloud volumetric system. Typically, games will use 2D images of clouds in the background to fake them, but Genshin Impact has physical, dynamic clouds that move, shift forms, and react to light, casting shadows on the ground below. I'll be diving into these techniques in more detail in my new upcoming series, Game Ready, so keep an eye out for that. Objects blocking the sun or moonlight create these beautiful God ray effects. Coupled with the expert terrain blending and post-effect shaders such as bloom and color remapping, the end result is stunning imagery that could trick most eyes into believing that this scene is actually 2D artwork. Now, as we go past the walls of Mondstadt, we're met with high mountains and green pastures spreading for miles, which makes the outer area look a lot like the Mondsee area of Austria, which for record is also known as Moon Lake. It's a fun little detail I found. Special attention was given to the grass of Genshin Impact in order to achieve the painterly look of the terrain. The studio modeled and textured a variety of grass concept motifs. These were then given randomized densities, size, orientations, and multiple sets of grass LODs were grouped together, and simplified versions were prepared for each set to keep things nice and optimized. Cliffs and mountains also occupy a big portion of most scenes in this game. To maintain the stylized, consistent look, the studio tried to retain some of the brushstroke effects. The texture applied to rocks comprised 8 different layers, and each of them had 3 different versions to account for detailed differences seen at specific distances. The hand-painted layers are actually fully procedural and use a lot of cool color blurring and blending techniques to get the desired look. I go over this technique extensively in my stylized texturing course, and I'll leave a link in the description for that one too. Genshin Impact features hundreds of different models of trees, bushes, and other foliage. The team had to employ several shading tricks to make them blend seamlessly into the environment while retaining some of the details. They use spherical models for the leaves, along with a technique relying on the angle of the player's camera to clip individual leaves out of the render. The specular and shadows between the leaves were then weakened, and a minimal level of lighting was set to prevent the shadows from looking too dark, which is essential in this painterly Ghibli style. If you look closely enough at the trees, you'll also notice some subsurface scattering on the leaves of the trees, mimicking an effect we see in real life, where light creates a rim effect on the edges of leaves if sunlight shines through at the right angle. If you venture further into the wilderness on a mercantile route, you'll soon find yourself before a natural landmark called the Stone Gate. From here, the scenery gradually shifts, and the architecture, along with the path, slowly reveals the motifs of a new region, Liyue. Governed by the god of Geo, an element corresponding to Earth, the nation of Liyue resides in a very lively commercial harbor. This is one of my favorite environments in the entire game. The architecture of the city was heavily inspired by ancient China, featuring warm color palettes, clay shingled rooftops, and stilted houses. For a team of Chinese developers, it was paramount to bring Liyue to a level of perfection as to reflect the gentle yet imposing beauty as to reflect the gentle yet imposing beauty of their own hometowns. Seas of reeds embellish the terrain close to bodies of water, dancing with each gentle breeze. Inspired by the delicate balance of content and empty space which characterizes Chinese Shanshui landscape paintings, the team built an array of peaks and stone forests as a backdrop for prominent landmarks. The soothing scenery brought forward the name of the first piece of architecture we see in Liyue, the Wangshu Inn. Its design drew from the Wankong Temple, built into a cliff near Mount Heng in China. The environment art team for MiHoYo mentioned how important it was for them to represent Chinese characteristics in front of a global player base. To achieve this, they compared various landmarks and pieces of Chinese culture and finally selected the area of Zhangjiaji as one of the main sources of inspiration. I am so sorry for butchering all of these Chinese words. Version 2.0 brought players the third large-scale region open to exploration. Centered around the element Electro, the theme for Inazuma was Eternity, a beautiful contrast to the short lifespan of Lightning. Inspired by Japan, the region is located in the easternmost part of Tevyat, in a group of islands accessible only via the ocean. The vast landscape is dotted with painterly sakura blossoms, and high mountain peaks preside over the backdrop. Grand Narukami Shrine, the region's largest, closely resembles traditional Japanese places of worship. Players get to walk through imposing torii gates and cleanse their hands on purification trails. Lion-like statues resembling Japanese komainu act like shrine guardians, and fan, lotus, and cherry blossom imagery can be found all throughout Inazuma. The region's very name comes from Inazuma, which means lightning in Japanese. These elements blend beautifully with an encompassing anime art style, creating an unique, almost austere atmosphere. MiHoYo put a lot of effort into making Inazuma a dream world for any anime fan out there, and I really believe they nailed it. Genshin Impact managed to beautifully balance the heavily stylized look with real-world architectural influences, but there's another layer to the design of Tevyat that makes the game environments truly unique. The 7 elements serve multiple purposes for the game mechanics, but they also influence the design quite heavily as well. Affiliation to the elements is present in every design choice, from the intricate costume design to VFX to the architecture itself. Mondstadt, the city of wind that we talked about earlier, is built on many different elevation levels with plenty of staircases, allowing its inhabitants to glide from one wall to the other. The Anemo emblem of wind can be seen on many items, including the crest of the Knights of Favonius, the city's protecting chapter. The elements influence everything from unique talents to the appearance of the characters, even their personality. In most cultures, water symbolized the body, thus emotions. Hydro, or water characters, in Genshin Impact were designed to look soft, quiet, and empathetic. They feature big, bright eyes and soft facial expressions. Their animations are graceful and flowy. Pyros, on the other hand, look passionate and determined, and are a little more spicy with their personalities. To solve the challenging issue of several cultural influences and references all mixed together, MiHoYo used the elemental system to bring everything together into a single, cohesive world. The 7 elements used feel distinct enough for the player to feel compelled to keep exploring, but they are similar enough to make Tevyat into something original. Character design. All right. Character design is the bread and butter of Genshin Impact. As a free-to-play game of such quality, Genshin Impact relies on the gacha system to turn a profit. The characters are the most desired type of content in the game, and much of the storytelling revolves around them. In addition, perfecting their appearance was the key element in order to achieve the desired anime style. Special attention was given to the shaders of the characters to ensure an authentic anime look. They hand-painted shadow masks specifically for the face, which they can later adjust automatically based on the direction of light. The position of the shadow can be artificially set based on the material settings, light intensity, and even mesh curvature. The color in the darkest areas can also be controlled by the color of the environment and at the artist's preference. As a result, the team spent copious amounts of time perfecting the concepts and making sure that they not only fit within the world, but also revealed critical details about the nature of the game. Each character features a complex set of past, present, and future interactions with the world of Tevyat. Each character has unique features and animations that distinguish them from the other characters. It is these core features that the team uses as guiding principles for the character design. In an installment of their Developer Notes series, MiHoYo revealed much of their thought process behind the creation of a character named Xiao. They drew inspiration from folk legends and religious stories and blended influences from Taoist deities, ancient Chinese spirits, Buddhist guardians, and mythological creatures. This result was a rich character with a unique set of values, drives, and personality traits. His outfit reflects a young, competent warrior that moves swiftly like the wind, which is his corresponding element. His accessories are all rooted in ancient Chinese tradition. The mask he wears in combat draws from Chinese exorcism masks. He wears a vajra, if I'm saying that right, at the neck and censer at the waist, two items ritualistically used to fight evil. Another great example of character design is Zhongli, the current vessel of the geogod Morax. He features a long ponytail, a deeply rooted Chinese symbol of social status. He has the scales on either side of his robe, which represent the emperor's power and adaptability. His design contains a lot of patterning, references to the 12 symbols of sovereignty introduced in the Zhao dynasty, exclusively worn by the emperor. Barring a few characters, Genshin's character design rarely features actual armor, despite all playable characters being fighters. The focus on the design leans more on the visual appeal rather than practical considerations. Most outfits revolve around a predominant color, which generally signifies the element associated with that character. That color is then paired with shades of white or black, then a few splashes of accent color are added for more visual interest. The accessories are what sets most of their designs apart. These accessories mostly fit within a certain theme related to their nationality. Mondstadt characters have more dagger-like triangular shapes as embellishments with more belts. In contrast, the clothing of Liu Wei features plenty of Chinese knotting, thick cords, and tassels. Each elemental affiliation is also reflected in the character's movements. Wind characters feature quick movements that end in a slow, controlled manner. They are swift as the wind, but retain their gracefulness with every attack. Geo, or Earth characters, such as Zhongli, feature quick, imposing moves. Their power can be felt through the steady way that they attack with every move. It's almost like that they stay grounded. In order to further distinguish each character, the developers gave them unique abilities, which come with their own visual effects. These are heavily influenced by their corresponding element, but they retain some individuality and reflect some of the character's backstory. Razor, for example, was presented as an orphan who was raised by wolves. As a result, his elemental burst in VFX shows a wolf spirit slaying his enemies. Barbara, one of my favorite characters, her ability shows a colorful burst of magical notes, telling of her habit of humming all over Mondstadt. All of these complex elements of culture, inspired design, and technical art prowess are all perfectly blended together to create one cohesive, beautiful piece of art. So yeah, Genshin Impact's pretty cool.